All right, we'll begin with Tarek El-Bashir with The Athletic. Tarek, please go ahead.
Hey, Tom, let me start with you. Congratulations, first of all, but I was wondering why now? Why was it important for you to get an extension done when you were already still under contract?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got a little bit of a taste of it this summer how crazy it can get once stuff on in the media starts um, talking and people start talking. But I think I've been around long enough that you see some of these contract years and you see some of the distraction, and as the year goes along, all the stuff that can come up, and we just kind of wanted to get rid of that, not have to worry about that. I knew I wanted to be here for as long as I could, and the team expressed the same. So I think it just makes it easier. Get it out of the way now. Doesn't have to be a distraction. It is a business, so throughout a season, a lot of different stuff can happen, and I'm pretty fortunate to be able to do it now, and just glad that we could get it done.
And if I can just follow up, how is your summer going? I'd imagine this has been a pretty normal summer from a training aspect as compared to last year.
Yeah, it's way better. I'm feeling really good. The injury was tough. It was a tough year, but you get to that 12-month mark and beyond, and it's in the rear view. I don't focus on it at all anymore. I'm just going about my training like I would any other summer, and really allowed me to kind of have fun in the gym again, and get after it, get strong, work hard, and focus on the things that will prepare me for this season, not necessarily just kind of like rehabbing and when you're behind the eight ball with things like that. So it's been a great summer. It's been fun to get back on the ice and just train hard and not have any of those worries.
Thanks, Tom.
Again, please utilize the raise hand option if you have a question. We'll go to Steve Wino with AP.
Brian, I just got what was the value of this signing in terms of kind of keeping you guys as a playoff and contender for the next few years?
Yeah, I think it's extremely valuable. Obviously we value what Tom brings to the table for the team. He's got a unique set of skills, plays on both specialty teams, good 5-on-5 player, real good teammate, real good person in the community. Pretty much checks every box, and I think it was important for us to get him in our lineup to not, like Tom mentioned earlier, alluded to, not create a distraction going forward this year. I think sometimes with Tom creates a lot of attention, and I think even this past off season, it was creating attention about future contracts or possibilities of being traded. So it was a priority for us to get him signed and come to an agreement and be a big part of our organization going forward.
We'll go to Ben Raby with Caps Radio Network.
Hi, Tom. Congrats on the deal. Just wondering, like long term, you could, in theory, finish your career in these parts. That's looking ahead. But to have that long-term mindset, to be here where you started your career, how important is that for you? How much of a feeling towards this deal was towards that possibility of being the Capital for life kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge for me. It means a lot, and obviously you still have to take it kind of year by year and game by game, which I kind of always have in my career. But I think it can be a recipe for success when you have people and on the team in the city that just take a pride and joy in being where they are and playing in a city like DC that I've called home for so long now. It really, when I go into that rink, it means a lot to me, and I want to win. I want to play the right way. So I couldn't imagine having to actually go ever and move and play somewhere else. So this gives the opportunity to, as long as I do my job and keep improving and helping the team do well, it gives me the opportunity to only have to play in one place my whole career, and that's pretty special to me. And but it's part of why I play the game is going to battle with your teammates and growing and having pride and playing for this city, and hopefully we can do that.
We'll go to Alexa Landestoy with One Sports Network.
Awesome. Congrats, Tom. Just want to take me back. What were the emotions like when the deal got done? And then also, what were the emotions like when it became public and you saw all the fans on social media and all the love the Capitals fans have for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of emotions kind of after the news broke. Takes a little bit for it to sink in. Obviously, you're so excited at first, and um, the next couple of days are a bit of a whirlwind. It's I'm pretty lucky to be in a position to do this, and I think it's a huge privilege and an honor just to see the support from the community, from the city. A place that I love so much, just to have people reach out and say such nice things and support me. It makes it all worth it. It makes it that much more fun to do what we do on any given night when you have such a great fan base and an organization behind you, because we take a lot of pride and joy in what we do, and when you have that support from the city, and that means everything. So it's been a lot of fun, and the last few days have been a whirlwind, but the smile kind of hasn't left my face. It's been an awesome couple days.
That's awesome. And if I could follow up with you, Matt, kind of similar to what Ben just asked Tom there, your statement when it came out saying, hey, locking up Tom for hopefully his entire career, why was that important for you to keep him in that Capitals uniform?
I think just the attributes he brings, I think it's, the guys on the team create a culture every year. He's been a big part of ours coming up to this point, and he'll be a big part going forward. I think he's learned a lot over the years. He's won a cup. He's got to play as a young guy with some solid veteran guys ahead of him, and now he's become that guy. We're looking for him to help when guys come in, young guys come in, how to be a professional, how to handle yourself off the ice, how to handle yourself in the community, and how to play the game the right way, how to practice the game the right way. I think he's had a great education through his first whatever it is, 10, 11 years. And, he'll continue to provide us that going forward, which is, I think, a huge part of what we accomplished here with this contract.
Next question comes from Matt Paris, The Washington Times.
Hey, Matt, you kind of alluded to it, but with Tom's name being in trade rumors, did you feel the need to clear those up with him at all? And then likewise for Tom, did you seek out any assurances from your agent or Mac or anyone in the organization about kind of the status before you guys reach this extension?
Yeah, I talked to his agent regularly when they were coming out, just to assure him that, that wasn't the case, that people were creating, a false narrative out there. But still, I think it's a little unnerving when you hear your name. I'm assuming it is, and tried to reassure Tom and his representatives that, that wasn't the case. And, it was kind of looked like, we went into this year, that was going to continue to happen, whether we were pursuing that avenue or not. So it was important for us to get a contract signed.
Yeah, I just think I a couple of times I just texted my agent, was like what's going on? But he was obviously able to talk to Mac and kind of reassure me that all was good. But yeah, it's funny when that stuff starts swirling around and people are a fan of you, people aren't a fan of you. It all changes pretty quick from other cities' viewpoints, but it's all fun. It's all passion. It's why the sport of hockey is great. And I was lucky to kind of be able to do this and not have to worry about that stuff.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go to Tom Galletti with NHL.com.
Hey, Tom, congratulations on the new contract. Just wanted your thoughts on the team here after missing the playoffs last year. There's a mostly new coaching staff, a couple of changes players wise, but the core is pretty much the same. What are your thoughts? I guess, again, is there an eagerness to kind of maybe show people last year was an aberration and get back in the playoffs for next year?
Yeah, I think there's an excitement coming into this year that is a little bit different than kind of in years past. There's new coaching staff. Guys are getting healthy. It was kind of a rocky year last year. Carb seems awesome. He's reached out to a lot of the guys. He's hungry. He's motivated. He wants to get this back on track. And I think that's the theme for all of us. There's a lot of winners in that room. And when you don't make the playoffs, it's a failure to what we believe in our group. So we're excited. We're hungry. We're excited to get back at it and get this thing moving back in the right direction and show the culture that, what it is to be a Cap. And that's winning games. That's playing hard. It's making it hard for teams to come into our building. We built that for a long time. You talk to other players around the league, they're like, hey, we knew when we came into DC, it was, our chances weren't good. And that's what we need to get back to. And I believe in this group, and we got a lot of great players. There's young guys coming up. There's obviously a great core veteran group, and guys are starting to feel better, get a little healthier. And, with Carbs and the new coaching staff, I think it'll be exciting. We're ready to get back to work and get this thing going.
And Mac, just with getting Tom signed, how far along are you on your off-season to-do list? Are you near the end now? Is there still more to do here before camp or the season starting?
Yeah, I mean, I think there could be. I think we've had a few discussions at the draft that might carry forward or might not carry forward. But I think, we're comfortable with where we're at. We'd still like to, make a change. But we'll see where it goes here before camp.
That change is still top 6 forward type thing?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go back to Tarek El-Bashir.
This is for Mac. We haven't really talked to you about the completion of the coaching staff. You added Kirk Muller there. It's kind of an interesting mix. You got some young guys who are going to be coaching in the NHL for the first time, and you got a veteran in Kirk. I imagine you like it. Can you just kind of walk us through the thought process of coming up with that mix?
Yeah, I think, we were excited to get Mitch Love and Spencer signed, two really good young coaches that are going to be successful in the league for a long time, I think. Talking with Spencer, both of us thought it was important that we got an experienced guy in to help him out. Kirk brings a lot of that stuff. Great experience as a player, great experience as assistant coach. He's been a head coach. He's got a reputation of working well with the other coaches. So we thought it was a perfect fit. He's done some power play with teams, did a power play in Calgary. So I think it was important to get that experience in for Spencer to have someone to lean on and Mitch to have someone to lean on. We added Kenny too as a skill coach. Another experienced guy, high energy guy, brings a lot of excitement, a lot of passion to the game. I think it'll be good for our coaching staff and for our players to have him around. So I think we rounded it out really well at the end of the year and or end of the off season, and excited to see how it gels together at the beginning of the year.
Just one more for me. There's still some quality players out there available. I know you guys are kind of up against the cap, but any thought to bringing in anyone on a PTO for a training camp?
We'll see how it goes here as we go, get closer to camp. We're still talking to agents, we're still talking a few teams about trades. So we'll see how it pans out at the end.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Back to Steve Wino, AP.
So, what does it mean to you to know you're going to be able to play with Alex Ovechkin at least for the next 3 years, and potentially once Alex is gone, be essentially the face of this franchise?
Yeah, it's been I've had a pretty cool perspective coming in to DC when, with Ovi and players like that, and to be able to be a part of a group like that is pretty special. And then to be able to learn from him, watch him, help him in whatever way I can, do his thing has been pretty cool. And you can never take it for granted playing with someone that great, and doing what he's doing. So I think everybody in that room wants him to have the utmost individual success going forward, and we all know what that means. So we're going to keep pushing. I think a good team and a team that's winning games means, he's scoring goals and we're checking both those boxes at the same time. So he's been amazing to me, an amazing leader. He's taken me under his wing, and he's had lots of conversations about about, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road or whenever it is, what it means to be a leader. And he's been fairly vocal with me the last little while about that. And just speaks to his character and how much he cares about his teammates. And, I just try and soak it all in.
Brian, you guys make this move. The Penguins went out and get Erik Karlsson. I'm wondering the challenge of kind of keeping a veteran team in contention and winning. How tough is that job to kind of balance trying to, obviously you guys got younger a little bit with Sonny Milano and Dylan Strome, but to try to kind of keep a team winning and keep a team on and getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, it is challenging. I think, I like the draft we had this year, adding Leonard, Crystal, Suzelev's coming. We got some young guys that are still coming. But our goal is to remain competitive. So I think it's a tricky balance, but we'll see if we can pull it off. I think it's important for Ovi, for all our veteran guys, that we remain competitive, give them a chance to compete, and it's important for our organization to add young players, to develop young players. And I mean, so far, I think we've done a pretty decent job at it, and we'll see what it's like going forward.
Go back to Matt Paris, the Washington Times.
Hey, Tom, you kind of alluded to it, but I wanted to follow up on it. What was it like seeing other fan bases kind of, being excited about the potential of maybe having your skill set on the team? Or, was it weird if you saw like a Penguins fan or a Toronto fan after all that you guys have been through?
Yeah, I guess weird would be a good way to put it, but that's part of it all. It is a business. There's a lot of other teams that have passion and are competitive, and you build that rivalry, and that's what's great about hockey. And it's weird when that stuff starts happening. You try not to look at it too much, but it can be funny. You read some of the stuff, you're only human. You kind of take it in for what it's worth, and it can be funny to listen to that stuff. And I think they know that I'm going to go out and play as hard as I can against them next year. And maybe they were excited about maybe possibly having that, be for their city, but they'll probably tell you not now. But it is what it is. And, that's part of what I love about hockey, in the game of hockey, and being a Cap is, going out there, having those rivalries, playing in big games and meaningful games and meaningful moments. And, there's a lot of passionate fan bases out there that, want their team to win and want their team to be hard to play against. So there's a lot of different opinions that get voiced now with social media and stuff, and it can obviously get a little bit carried away. But I'm glad it didn't have to go too far before we could kind of put that stuff to bed and get back to just being a Cap and, I guess, making their lives difficult again.
Thank you.
All right, the last question comes from Bailey Johnson with the Washington Post. Bailey, go ahead.
Tom, you just mentioned Ovi talking to you about being a leader. Just sort of wondering what you've learned from him about that.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much of that, because obviously they're private conversations and they're very meaningful to me. But just to have him there to show me the support that he's given me since day one, and I think you can't get to where you are as an individual without all the support from your teammates. And I've had a lot of conversations the last couple of days with former teammates, current teammates, coaches, former coaches. And that's what's cool about the hockey world, is everyone can enjoy each other's success, and just, the support that everyone's given each other to get them to that point. And I've been really lucky to have a lot of great teammates, a lot of great leaders to look up to. And that starts with Ovi. And, he's had a crazy career too. It's been, we had a great year in 2018, but he's had some ups and downs to learn from, and, pass on some of the advice from that. And when you are a guy like him on a team, or you're a leader, or you're wearing a letter, there can be stuff that comes with that. And he's just we've had conversations about, what that can entail. And, you guys all know him, but he's a very passionate guy, and he cares a lot about his team, about his teammates. And I'm one of those teammates, and it's been nothing but a fun ride to be by his side, and just try and, like I said, learn everything I can, because he's a once in a lifetime player. So it's cool to share the ice with him.